yesterday we have discussed about subatomic particles. So in that, what are the important subatomic particles? Electron, proton and neutron. So yesterday we have discussed about the electron discovery. So in cathode ray tube experiment. So in that we have taken cathode ray tube and metal pieces, that cathode, and one acts as cathode and one acts as anode. And cathode rays are gone from, so they are attracted by positive electron, they are discharged by negative electron. So they contain negative charge. So in the same way, protons are discovered. These protons are positively charged subatomic particles. So how protons are discovered? So the same experiment, cathode ray so discharge tube, electric discharge tube has taken. Here also electric discharge tube has taken. So in this tube, some changes are made to discover the positive subatomic particles. So in this, he has taken some perforated cathode. So this cathode is contained some pores. So that is called perforated cathode. So in previous experiment, discovery of electron, they have taken perforated anode. So they have taken perforated anode in previous experiment, but in this experiment they have taken perforated cathode. So this is the cathode, negatively charged electrode, and here this acts as anode, positively charged electrode, and they are connected with the battery. So here, so what is the difference in there and here is the pressure. So the pressure inside this tube is maintained somewhat high pressure when compared to electron discovery. So here the pressure is 10 power minus 1 mm of Hg. So in previous experiment, electron discovery, we have maintained very low pressure. So that is 10 power minus 3 mm of Hg. But here the 10 power minus 1 mm of Hg means pressure is somewhat increased. So here the pressure is somewhat high, pressure is taken. So means there is a gas inside the tube. So pressure is there means the gas, somewhat gas is there. So these gas molecules are there inside the tube. So these gas molecules, so when we pass the electricity current, so this gas will lose electrons. So they will lose electrons. So after losing electron, this gas will contain which charge? So if they loses electron, they will contain positive charge. So this positive charged gas molecules, so gases will moves to the negatively charged cathode. So here we have taken perforated cathode. So means they can move, they can pass through the cathode, and when they strike this screen, so this is fluorescent screen. So we have taken fluorescent screen. So because we can observe by glowing. So it's glowing. So this substance will glow means some rays are striking this substance. So that's why we have taken this screen or fluorescent material. So this rays coming from anode, so will strike the fluorescent material and this material will glow. So by seeing this glowing material, we can conclude that some rays are striking this substance, some charged rays. And here they are moving towards negatively charged cathode. Means they contain positive charge. So this is about, so these rays are named as anode rays. Anode rays are canal rays. So these names are anode rays are canal rays. And what are the properties of these rays? So what are the properties? Let us see the properties of anode rays. So we have, yesterday we have seen cathode rays properties. Cathode rays are negatively charged particles. So in the same way, anode rays, so they contain opposite charge to the cathode rays. So anode rays contain positive charged particles, and their behavior is opposite to the cathode rays in electric and magnetic field. So because charge is different, So charge different means they can behave differently in electric field and magnetic field. So cathode rays or negatively charged rays are attracted by positive electrode. But here anode rays are attracted by negative electrode when we kept in electric field. So electric field means, so if you put gas, this tube in between two electrodes, positive electrode and negative electrode. So these rays, anode rays, so they are deflected, so they are positively charged, means they are deflected and they are attracted by negative electrode. So means they moves to negative electrode. So that is the different behavior. And also in magnetic field also they behaves very different, opposite to the cathode rays. So these are two properties, and then we will see some more properties. So they are made up of positive gaseous ions. So we have seen that in this tube, so they are after losing electron, so the molecules will form positive ions. So they are made up of positive gaseous ions. So anode rays contain positive ions, gas ions, and they are not made up of protons. So in case of cathode rays, they are made up of electrons. But in case of anode rays, they are not made up of protons. So they are made up of ions, gaseous ions, positively charged gaseous ions. So means different, by changing different gas, so they can form different gaseous ions. So means their properties depends on the nature of gas. So in case of cathode rays, their properties doesn't depend on the nature of gas. If we put any material, they will release rays contain similar properties. So by changing the gas, so the properties of cathode rays are not changing. But here the properties of anode rays will change on changing the gas. So if we take in different gas here, so the properties also changes. So because they are not made up of protons, they are made up of ions. So ion means, so if you take hydrogen gas, it will form H plus ion. If we take helium gas, it will form He2 plus. So like that. So they will form different ions. So their properties also different. So the properties depend on the nature of gas. And next, charge by mass ratio. So if the charge is changing and mass is changing, then charge by mass ratio also changes. On changing the gas, E by M ratio also changes. So the charge by mass ratio depends on the nature of gas. So if you take hydrogen gas, it is E by M value different, and if you take helium gas, it is different. So which contain more E by M ratio? Lighter gas will have more charge by mass ratio. So because mass is it is in denominator. So if mass increases, then E by M value will decreases. So means which gas will have highest E by M ratio? Lighter gas. So the lightest gas is nothing but hydrogen gas. So for hydrogen gas, charge by mass ratio value is highest. And then we obtain highest E by M ratio for hydrogen gas. So in case of hydrogen gas, the rays, anode rays are called protons. So anode rays are made up of protons in case of hydrogen gas only. So because hydrogen contain only one electron and one proton. So if it loses this electron, what is remain? Only proton is remain. Means in case of hydrogen gas, the positive rays or anode rays are made up of protons, but not in case of other gases. In case of other gases, they are made up of gaseous positive ions. So they are not made up of protons in case of other gases. And E by M ratio is highest for hydrogen gas. And here the charge of proton and mass of proton was given by this value. So these values are important. So a charge of proton is plus 1.6022 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. And mass of proton is 1.625 into 10 power minus 27 kg. So this is the charge and mass of proton. This is the discovery of proton.